So, hi, my name is Adria and welcome to my reading road. So, I'm here to film my Mars TBR and my Mars TBR game. And I know I haven't filmed either a wrap up for either January or February, but I'm planning on doing that at the same time as I'm updating on how my Read What You Own challenge went. And a small update will probably be in this TBR game. But without further ado, I'm just going to play how my rolls went this month. Roll number 1, and that is 9. 1, 2, 9. And this is VTR 2023 collection. So, the first roll I ended up on the VTR collection, which is a collection on my Kindle with books I want to read this year. And for this one I chose Air Crashes and Miracle Landings. It's pretty much a book with a collection of different airplane accidents that has happened, and they all sorted into if it was human error or if it was mechanical or if it was the weather and so on. And I'm partway through it, about 20% maybe, and I find it fascinating with airplanes and all that can go wrong and how sturdy they are and how many things need to go wrong in a sequence of events for an accident to happen. And since I've been watching more Mayday, which is the show about real airplane accidents, and listening to Hard Landings, a podcast again, I'm really in the mood to read this one and actually finish it. So that's choice number 1. Second is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going into a goal. So no prompt for that one. So one less roll for me. But because I'm doing a punishment this month, I'm going to use up this blank space, and I'm still going to roll 4 more times. So first 4, and it's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's another VTR collection. So the next one roll, I ended up in the middle, and I hadn't figured out what I would do for the times I ended up in the middle until now, but I'm going to use those to give me a free pass for my Read What You Own challenge. And I'm partly doing this because otherwise I pretty much already failed it, because using my first reward for hitting 25 books in the challenge, I got to buy books that was on the sale now in February, and I accidentally bought a book that wasn't on the sale. So I'm going to use this free pass to get me out of that trouble so I can continue with the challenge regardless. At the end of the day, I'm doing this challenge to just, end up reading more of the books I own and than the books that I acquire in the end, the role of this challenge is to read more of the books I own, and in the end, I'm trying to have more books on my bookshelves that I've read than I have yet to read. So as far as I read more books than I acquire, I'm going in the right direction anyway. And the book I accidentally bought for this, and it's As Long as the Lemon Tree Grows by Solfa Cato. And since I don't want to just reward myself for actually making a mistake for the challenge, I'm going to put this as the first book on my TBR that I have to read to continue with the TBR. As such, I'm not adding more books, unread books, to my bookshelves, but I'm reading them directly as I buy them, if you understand it. That's the way I'm going to do it anyway. So that's the first one I'm going to read in March. So we have another roll. I call this roll 3 since I skipped the first one, since I ended up in the middle. And for this is another in the VTR collection, and for this I put a memory called Empire. And I really want to read this since I already got the sequel on the February sale. So I'm looking forward to reading this one and hopefully add a little more of sci-fi to my TBR. I don't recall what it's about, but I still want to read it. So I hope I will enjoy it. Number 3. And it's a 7 again. And I'm already into it, and it's a reading challenge. So next book is a reading challenge, and well, short, I put this one on it, and it's really thick. But I need to read this one to finish the series, and it's on my knockout readathon. Well, it's one of the books on my cart, so I'm doing progress there as well. And I'm probably going to do this one on audio because I'm not making that much progress trying to read heavy hardbacks, so I'm probably doing the audio books for this one. But it's the last book in the Aragon series, or what's it called, Inheritance Cycle, I believe the series is called, but the first book is Aragon, and this is the last book, Inheritance, or Arvtagaren in Swedish. So that's on my TBR as well. And that's a 14, and it's a double 7, so that's another throw for me again. And with 7 we land on info. And it's a year goal book. So, and next we have another yearly book goal, and one of the books I'm putting on this one is Yellow Sky Revolt by Baptiste Pinson-Roux, and this is one of the newer books, or one of the last books I bought before going on this Read What You Own challenge and going on the buying ban. So I'm looking forward to reading this one, since it's historical, set in the War of the Three Kingdoms in ancient China, and I find, well, that kind of historical place rather fascinating. So I'm looking forward to picking this one up. And we have second to last roll now. And it's a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're already into it. And it's a TBR card book. Next, we have a TBR card review book. And I already picked up a book from the cart in Inheritance, the Aragon book. But so I'm putting Across the Dark and Lonely on this as well. It's also fantasy, but as I understand it, it's a fantasy romance, and to be honest, I need a bit more of the red color in my genre blanket, and this gives me, both green and red for that blanket, since it's a fantasy romance, and it looks good. So I'm looking forward to getting to this one as well, and I expect this one to be a much easier read than the rest, hopefully. And last roll, and it's a 14, and it's a double 7 again, so it's another roll. And 14, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and it's the third VTR 2023 collection. I'll be reading a lot of ebooks this month, it seems like. So we have another VTR collection. The board really wants me to read ebooks this month, apparently. So for this I picked Blood, Sweat and Pixels, and as I recall, it's a book about making video games and such. I might end up doing this one on audio as well, because I have access to it for free, but maybe I just pick up the ebook. It depends on how long it will take me to read Air Crashes and Miracle Landings. So we'll see if I doing this one on audio or not. Let's see if this is the last one then. And it's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I got into the middle, so I'm going to save that free pass I get by that. And the last roll is a free. I reached the middle a second time, so that's another free pass, as I decided this month to sell myself. And I'm going to keep this for whenever I really can't resist the urge to get a new book before hitting the 50 goal for the challenge. So we'll see how that goes, but I got one in reserve. And outside of these books, I also put some additional books on my TBR that I can choose from if I want to. And the first of those is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. And this is one of the books I got on the February sale, so it's completely new. And I reread the flaps on this one, and I'm really intrigued about this mermaid that fairy souls, and it just sounds really fun. And I'm not really into mermaids otherwise, but I found this interesting, so I'm picking it up and hopefully I enjoy it as well. Outside of this, I also put The Adventures of Amina Al-Safiri by Chakraborty on this list. And the next book in the First Law series, which is Before They Are Hanged, is also on the list. If I manage to finish the blade itself this month, I'm working on it at the moment. And the last book is The King Must Fall that I'm putting on this, and it's a collection of stories with the theme of The King Must Fall. and I'm doing this on audiobook as well. I've been putting a lot of audiobooks where I can because I've been into, well, doing a lot of crocheting, so I want to have something to listen to while I do it. So hopefully it will go well, and I'm going to make a lot more progress this month. Not that January, February have been bad, but you see how that went in the wrap up when I finally get around to it, hopefully soon. But I hope you have a good day and keep on reading. Bye!